basic interview. I wasn't sure who I was trying to convince more, him or me. Several times, I'd told Lauren that Manny should be doing the interview. That I was a behind the scenes, didn't mind getting dirt in my hair and drywall on my skin kind of girl. Being front and center gave me hives, but Lauren insisted demographics showed female viewers connected more with the show when a woman was on camera. Lauren clearly knew this business. She spouted ratings data and advertising revenue numbers like she studied them day and night. The last thing I wanted was to upset her because this TV pilot could change our lives. The walls of the kitchen tightened in as more cameramen and assistants filled the small square space. Lauren swept across the room in 3-inch heels. Her curtain of shiny black hair swung behind her. "Manny, I need you up on the ladder doing touch-ups to the wall with the green paint." He gave me one last reassuring smile before moving past the wide picture window above the sink to the ladder set up in a corner near the creamy white cabinets with the nickel hardware. "Torin, I want you next to the outer edge of the island. We'll start with you in the frame, and then I'll need you to walk back and allow the camera to pan out as you speak." Lauren pointed to an X made with black electrical tape on the other side of the island. "Stop at that spot. When the director gives you the signal, begin with all the details needed to make this kitchen so stunning." Warmth filled my cheeks at the compliment, and I agreed to her direction. Once I was in position in front of the island, a slate clapped down, and the director pointed at me to start. "When we first bought this house, the floor below us was crumbling." My voice came out shakier than a jackhammer against concrete. "Manny spent days under the house to ensure the foundation was stable." A flash of my mom blazed through my head. What would she say about all this? Would she tell me to slow down? Speak clearly? Smile when I could? "Make it right, Torin." It was the last thing she'd said as she was taking her final breaths. In that moment, I didn't need her to explain. She knew about my goal to save the dying history of Ivy Falls, had seen me visibly shudder as more than one historic house in town was taken down by a wrecking ball or a massive excavator. We were one step closer to that dream once we finished shooting this last scene in the house, and I had to do everything to make sure it went perfectly. The camera tracked me as I walked behind the island. Blood pounded in my ears. The noises in my head, the ones that screamed I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't smart enough or lucky enough to pull this off, grew louder. I was supposed to stop at the mark on the floor, but my dark thoughts snowballed. If I couldn't get this pilot right, the show wouldn't get picked up. We'd lose our shot at getting the money we desperately needed to float our construction business, to buy more homes before the town council condemned them, to preserve the history of Ivy Falls for future generations. The last few months we'd been scraping by, always managing to give enough money to our creditors to keep them at bay for one more month. I shook off the darkness, forced myself to remember what we'd rehearsed, what Manny said about pretending I was only talking to him. We spent a week at town hall tracking down the blueprints for the house. Once we understood the original structure, we made every effort to keep the historical details in place, including the beamed ceilings, shiplap walls, and turn-of-the-century fixtures lighting most of the house. When I reached the corner of the island, edging closer to the ladder, a flicker of white caught my eye. Before I could correct my footing, I hit the corner of a rug someone had placed near the sink. Like a bad movie in slow motion, my boots skidded out beneath me. My brain knew what was happening,